Good morning, guys. How you doing? 5800 is making fun of JFresh calling for 5800 since like the end of last month, and he's not around to defend himself. So yeah. Good morning. Soundtrack to the Last Temptation of Christ was done by Peter Gabriel. Perfect. All right. Funny enough, that's still punching up. Is this pre-market buy puts or buy calls session? Well, we're gonna run through Pickles picks real fast. I got about 20 minutes, and then I've got a doctor's appointment in fucking Brooklyn that I have to go to. So it's probably gonna take me like all fucking day to get out there. But yeah, I'm gonna run through this over like the next 20 minutes, and then you guys are uh, you guys are on your own. We'll pop up the live data and fuck off. I hope it doesn't freeze, because if it does, you're screwed. QQQ. This isn't QQQ. This is ES. No, they're doing like an MRI to make sure that it was allergy medications that like fucked up my serotonin and not like a brain tumor or something. Thanks, Tom Tom. So I have to get imaging done. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. It's definitely the allergy medication. This is just like a precaution. Which is worse, having a brain tumor or having to go to New Jersey? Definitely going to New Jersey. Wait, on like a Friday on traffic? Wait, what's the matter? I have to go to a doctor's appointment today to get like a pictures of my brain and thyroid. It might be a brain tumor. It might just be allergies. It's a coin flip. All right. So, yes. Let's start. So we moved up about 19 bips overnight. Current spots like 63.52 SPX. We've still failed to regain the trend, which isn't a great look, but we do have higher highs off of this. So I would watch probably at market open the like 63.74 level for support. 63.57 to confirm downside. And then if 63.57 is lost, you know, 40 and then 63.18 for downside targets. To the upside, 64.01 is really all that matters. Regaining 64.01 probably puts this back on track to retest the trend up above 64.25, which would be like 64.40 today, somewhere around there. So that would probably be upside target on the 6401 confirm. Um, we did see like a big turnaround in correlation yesterday, and that's continuing a little bit this morning. NQ underperforming a little bit, but breadth catching up with Russell and Dow moving up today. Then we're gonna switch back over to Gamma Strike. The fuck? Here we go. Take a look at the 0 TTE gamma. So we got support at 6350, which will be support to the downside probably here at open. Looks like there's resistance at 6370. That could be like an initial range for the day. Breakout from 70. Gamma remains high out to about 90, 95. Then it's gonna like fall off. You start to get a lot more resistance going into the 6400 strike. This would probably be the range to expect to trade in, like this like $15, $20 range if 6370 is broken. If 6350 is broken to the downside, there's some support down at like 6325. And gamma's pretty negative there, so it's pretty easy for price to fall off. We'll go confirm that on Delta, but if we look at Greeks on all expiration, same thing largely, except less support at 6325 down there and a little bit more resistance up here. So broadly, I would expect like the intraday trading range to be like 6350 through 6385, 6380 right here, and then bearish, very slightly bullish to the upside of that. If we look at delta, there's not a lot of delta. Once you get above 80, delta kind of flattens out, so that also makes moves to the upside of 6380 more difficult. But to the downside, there's also not a lot of positive delta until like 6325. So basically, yeah, that's probably the outer range for trading today. We got 25 to 50, and then 50 to 80, and then 80 to 90, 95. So these are probably the extremes: bearish, bullish, neutral. For charm, nothing really significant. I mean, if we go to over 6370, charm's a lot more supportive. If we lose 6350, a little bearish, and then a little bit more under 6325. Here on the gamma curve, there's still a decent amount of supportive gamma. Total exposure is 18.6 billion, which is, actually, sorry, 23.3 billion, which is a little bit higher than what we had yesterday. So still supportive on the downside for the MM. Unless there's bad news, I suspect that 6350 could be held for most of the day. Or we like sell off through it. On the dealer positioning side, for SPX, we actually had a slight downtick yesterday in DNGN. VN and Gamma Max. The move down in Gamma Max a little bit more bullish, but DN and GN falling not so much. Skew adjusted delta stayed pretty flat session to session, but there was a slight increase in Gamma into the end of the day. For SPX, we broke out above VN. I suspect that the weighting on VN due to the increase in delta on this chain is a little bit greater than it was, but we did see delta neutral and gamma neutral finally turn around and start to kind of catch up to the bullishness that we've seen in the SPXW chain, even though that fell off last night. So a little bit more long dated support of the upside move here. And then, obviously skew adjusted delta still negative. Gamma, it's like 16 billion, but still fairly flat. Like not much higher than it was, just a couple of days ago on Monday. Options macro, we've got a little uptick in call leverage. Put delta didn't change too much yesterday. And yeah, day put leverage stayed almost exactly the same. So not a lot of change in that since we saw put leverage move a bit down from spot. So still, short put selling some bullish positioning, about 5.7% outside of spot. I don't really think anything here is super significant, but we're definitely seeing contract value on puts fall, which might, was another indication that some of those puts are being sold with the upside in price. I think today is our largest pile of gamma for the week, so price action could end up being pretty flat. Support and resistances are going to be fairly strong. Delta is a little bit lower, which probably just reduces the range and impact of that higher gamma, which means that the chances for like a fairly range bound day are fairly high unless there's some kind of breakout at 63.50 or 70. What's next? Vol. 63-point implied move. IVHV. Still kind of floating above IV10, but HV30 stopped moving up. HV60 started to fall off again, so that actually opens up a big opportunity for longer dated sold puts to come in. I don't know why the surface isn't loading. Try that again. There it goes. Oh, this is SPX. SPXW. Oh, did I look at the wrong Greeks by expiry? Maybe. Oh, I did. Yeah, it's still very high gamma. Kind of low delta. Yeah, it's not different. Same drop off at IV60. Some event vol priced out until like 8:15. So almost every day going into OPEX, there's an uptick in event vol going into next week. However, before next week, there's definitely a little opportunity here for put sellers to continue to sell puts around like 5,500. So 52-point implied move here, 63-point implied move over on SPX is like 57.5 BPS up or down for the day. I don't see any big changes on the surface. So there was put selling yesterday, but minimal. And there's really no event vol So I expect probably volatility to get shorted maybe a little bit over the weekend. We might see it start to pick up Monday into the VIX, into like the VIX expiration on Wednesday, and then into next Friday on OPEX. I think that's about it there. So out here on SPX, we're gonna be looking at like I'm not gonna adjust all the Greeks because they fucking barely moved, but you can look at them on the intraday chart. I would say somewhere around like 53, 60, barring any bad news, would be a very likely upside target. Um, Maybe 70. But the market maker pricing in a little bit more than that. So there could be some call selling opportunities out above like on any test of like 85 or 90. Maybe some put selling shit down at like 6,300, which are quite a ways away from. But I would say that like if this bounce off trend fails, which would be probably somewhere around 70 given the current overnight price, because we're up here right now. Watch that trend line, and this is on the 30-minute for a failure. If you want to like confirm the downside move or something like that, I think gamma neutral moved up a tiny bit. Yeah, that's about it. So I hope that helps you guys today. Probably up, but it gets real grindy when we run out of delta to the upside. So I mean, I think bulls can pretty easily push this out. Just watch for those downside failures, 6350 level, 6375 on ES. Those are moderately important. Thanks, Danimal. The bulls gotta really want it today. Yes. You guys too. I put the zero DTE shit in Pickles picks. I guess I got a couple minutes. We could look at a couple of these. That might be kind of bearish after the earnings breakout, or maybe like an opportunity to sell calls. Looks like could push up to like 185. Run through some of these. This looks kind of shitty. CPRI. Is this Hinge, like the dating app? This looks very topped out at the 60 strike. That could be a good call selling opportunity. You got to check the liquidity on these, though. I have no idea what it looks like. TMC might look a little bit bullish if it gets over $5, $6. I wouldn't fucking touch that. Hymns? No, gross. This looks like crap, but there's nothing to short. It's like a $2 stock. Open. Opens at support. I don't know if that'll mean it'll bounce, but Gamma picked up on it yesterday. So that might be interesting. What did that do overnight? Down a little bit in the pre-market. Yeah. Yeah, that's gross too. Maybe just like tech. Apple looks like it's well on its way to testing Gamma Max. Tesla's got some room to the upside out to about 330. I don't like NVIDIA that much. What's AMD looks good. A 180. It's about $8 upside. A little bit of resistance at 175 though. Meta. That doesn't look so hot. Under 760. Gamma locally falls negative. There's really no support down to like 750 on Delta, so Meta might drop a little bit today. What's it doing right now? Ooh, it's well, it's actually not down much today, but maybe it'll push towards that gap fill, like 56 to 48. Upstart. Bounce off GN. Maybe. But resistance back up at 72, which isn't a great look. It's already at 71 in the pre-market. I mean, there's not a lot to play there. 72, 72.50 as resistance back to the upside. I don't know if I'd want to run 0 DTEs on a like $1 move. Anyway, all right, let's I guess get shit ready for market open. Ding ding. What? We always did ding dings at the beginning of the day. Hey, look, we opened at 60. Ah. Ooh, do you guys want me to try to leave dev live data up all day? The fancy one? The chances of it failing in the middle of the day are way higher. Alright. Hey, Yaga. What are you doing over there? Look how big that candle is. There's 1,500 hours. Remember, all of those calls up at like 70 through 80 were sold yesterday for Friday today. Um, let me try to give you guys an idea of the max ranges here and where we have bot sold shit also before I head out. Five-minute window, 15, 30. Now let's do like an hour. Fall's a bit skewed to the downside. That's like 63.10. All right, that should be enough. Looks like it's pretty easy for us to fall back to 50 from here. Resistance at 70, support at 45. Interesting. The upside of 70. Those calls look like they're being maybe bought to close here with the higher open. 6350, 6400, lots of bot calls. Puts coming in at spot right now. Sold put support to the downside, 45, 20, 30, 20, and then 6300, 6290. Sold call walls to the upside, 85, 6400. And then a really big one at 6410. Looks like the peak, yeah, like the top possible range would be like 6405, 6410. And then downside around like 6305-ish. Remember, things get real bearish if, like, well, kind of looks like if 45 is lost here, but that opens up the, like, 6340 to 6320 range. And then below 6320, 6300. 41's the overnight gap. Wasn't it just 40? I thought we closed like perfectly flat at 40 last night. Oh shit, it was 63.39.99. No, that's wrong. Why is that wrong? WeBull shows the close of WeBull's like gap finder is a fucking piece of shit, just FYI. WeBull shows the close at 63.40, and then TradingView shows it at 63.99.99. Or 63.39.99, sorry. I'm not gonna breathe thunder. Anyway, good luck, guys. Have a good day. I'll catch you later.